Okay, hi there. We are at the Equine Affaire, and I'm here with Stacy Westfall. How are you today?
Good, and you?
Good, good. So what are we doing here today? What are you doing for us?
I just finished
Hi,
teaching.
Popcorn. Hi, buddy.
Popcorn's getting ready for his demo, and the next one for him is stall manners, and teaching people about how to have stall manners, okay? So get ready for that one, Popcorn.
Right, get ready.
But I just finished teaching bridleless riding, the cues that we use, and why they help you improve your steering and your stopping.
Mm-hmm. So there's not a lot of women out there that do what you do, but there's a lot of women that would like to. Do you have any pointers for women trying to break into doing what you do with horses? I mean, because some of them are pretty timid about it. Any pointers for them?
I think, to me it was a little bit surprising when people kept making a big deal about me being a woman. But the one good side effect that came out of it was that a lot of women go, I watched that guy do that, and I thought it was impressive, but I didn't think I could do it. But I see you do it, and you have tiny little arms, and you're my size, and you have three kids.
It's not about bowling and tearing.
Right, and they say, but for some reason, even though when they see me do it, they say, oh, then if she can do it, I can do it. So I guess that would be, if I can do it, you can do it.
That's right,
so
that's right.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. And you're a graduate from the University of Findlay.
Yes.
How many years ago? Although we don't want to talk about that so much.
97.
Yeah?
Yep.
So do you go back there and do clinics and help the kids and just kind of give back?
I just went back a couple weeks ago and did a demo at night. Okay.
Okay, Popcorn. We're going to talk about you in a minute, buddy.
Nosy, are we? And so I went back there and I did a demo thing at night, and some years I go back in and teach. It kind of depends on what the schedule's like. Yeah. But I don't know that in the last few years that there's been a year that I haven't been up there.
Oh, good. So, and you're not so far away, so it does make it. I mean, it's nice to go back and see Steve and everybody.
Yeah. And there's times I go back and just drool over the facility.
Is it really?
Run and stop
pretty
because
nice, isn't it?
When you're there and you're riding with everybody, you kind of almost get used to it being kind of normal, but it's big and it's heated.
It is.
And it's warm.
Yeah.
And in the winter, ours isn't that big and it's not heated.
Not that warm.
And so,
not that warm.
It's fun.
So do you do clinics all over the country for folks?
Pretty much. I do a lot more at home right now. So I do, or in Ohio, because the kids are 10, 12, and 13.
Okay.
So we don't want to travel quite as much. Although, having said that, we've got a clinic in Canada at the end of May, a clinic in Colorado in July.
That's a little far away from home, Mom.
A clinic here in Bell Center in Ohio at the end of June. And then I do some kind of personal little private type clinics at my house.
At your own facility, you do. Do you do just women only? Do you ever do any just women only clinics?
Most of my clinics end up being women only.
Oh, but
not because we rule out men,
yeah,
but just because that tends to be the demand. And we women tend to come in groups.
like going to the ladies' room.
Exactly.
Like, okay,
the whole joke about everybody going together, and so it turns into that with the clinics too, because it's it's most common to have groups of 2 or 3 women sign up all at the same time, especially if they're traveling from very far away, which is what they tend to do if they're coming all the way to Ohio for one. Then
can they stay at your facility? Is there a place to stay?
The horses stay there, but the people don't.
Okay, you don't. Okay, all right. And so, what's your next clinic coming up, or where are you going after the Equine Affaire?
After the Equine Affaire, I'll go home and sleep for a week. No, actually, I'll go home and I'll teach a...
I bet you won't. I bet you won't. You're going to have to do laundry, sweep the floor, blah, blah, yeah.
I'll go home and I'll actually teach a personal clinic, private clinic at my house Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then I will do some mounted shooting coming up because I've been into mounted shooting.
When did you start doing that?
Popcorn finally agreed to participate with me this year. And so up till then, last year, I just spent the whole year trying to get him quiet to the guns.
Okay. Tell us about Popcorn.
Popcorn is nosy. Most people recognize him because he was the colt that I won the Road to the Horse with.
Exactly.
And so that was kind of his claim to fame there. And then after we did that, he was made into a Breyer horse. And then...
Cool.
And then after he was made into a Breyer horse, he has also been... I got his ROM, which is Register of Merit in the AQHA. And so he has his ROM in reining. Okay. And then I decided to start doing mounted shooting. He wasn't quite sure if he was excited about that idea or not.
Yeah. But he came into it? You made him live with balloons or what?
Well, it was, it's interesting because horses are naturally wired to be either, more reactive or more naturally quiet. And when people see him, because he has so much training, the scale that I use is a well-balanced horse is at 0. and a real dull, quiet horse is a -10, and a real hot, reactive horse is like a +10. And my job as a trainer is to balance them out. So Popcorn here is by nature a +7.
Okay.
Roxy was by nature a -3.
All right.
So you start looking at who they are personality-wise. Well, the same thing that makes him a good candidate for mounted shooting, which is that he likes to run. He's hot. He likes, I mean, he goes in the pasture and runs. Where with Roxy, you know, she didn't run. And,
Okay.
you know, she was just
Unless
lazy.
someone's chasing her.
Right. So she, even though she was great at what she did, mounted shooting wouldn't have been something she would have been really great at because she wasn't all about the speed. Where he's
like,
more
yeah,
about the
yeah,
speed,
where we going? What are
but
we
he's
doing?
also emotionally more hot or reactive. So because of that, I've had to do a lot of extra work to get him quiet to the guns and the patterns and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
yeah. So what are you doing on your demonstration on today?
Stall manners.
Oh, that's
so,
right.
Yeah, so I've actually been just kind of leaving him alone, and I've got to take him and lead him over there, and then show them how to move him around and get respect and all that stuff.
Was it hard when you were having babies? This is for us women out there that, you know, want to do this, and we're trying to raise a family, and you have a very supportive husband, yes?
Yes.
You know, you're having babies, you're not going to ride, you know, your last month or whatever. You probably were riding up until that point.
I depended on the child, but I rode too long with some, and yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but it's hard to shuffle.
Yeah.
It's hard to shuffle, and you feel like you need to be here with this child, or then you're thinking, oh gosh, I need to be out in the barn, I got to work with this horse. But you know, you got to, it's really a shuffle for you. It's a challenge, isn't it?
It was for sure. It was a very busy time period, and you know, but I think it's just persistence and, you know,
just figure it out. This is my livelihood.
Right. And at the same time, having said that, when I was having my first child, second child, even third child, my husband was a lot more well known than I was. You know, when I would go to a horse show with him, I was pregnant and pushing a stroller and dragging one along with me.
Right.
So a lot of people didn't even know I rode. And so, you know, that was the stage of life that I was in. And I think a lot of people get kind of stuck in, you know, that right where you are right now is the only thing that's going to exist for the next 30 years. And that's not true.
Right.
Your life is in a cycle. And so we try to stay very aware that, and I was aware then that the kids were little. And so, you know, that was, and so, you know, Jesse was really well known for, you know, reining and winning, to the point where we bought a horse, and my mom and I put the 3 car seats in the back of the car and drove, well, in the back of the truck, drove the horse trailer over to pick up the horse, and I went in to get the horse, and they were like, honey, do you need help loading the horse?
I'm good.
Like, they didn't even know that I knew how to lead a horse and load it on my own.
Right, of course, and hook up the trailer.
Right, and so, you know, so you just kind of have to get over that and just go ahead and head off there and be like, no thanks, I think I got this covered, and load them in, and just know that that's just a phase of your life. You know, right now with the kids being 10, 12, and 13, we're trying to stay really aware that they are going to be out of the house in 5 to 8 years. So I'm not doing as much as I would be in a different phase of life. So, you know, I can see 10 to 15 years from now having a different schedule than I have now. But right now I have kids at home, and so that's just the way it is.
You're working around it. Around it.
Yep.
Yeah. So did you get that hat from Jody Brooks?
It's a Charlie 1 horse.
Oh.
Yep, so that's where I picked it up.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
So I guess that's about all we have time for today.
Okay, yep.
Thank you so much for talking with us,
You're
Stacy.
welcome.
And happy trails, darling.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey there, we are the 3 fillies of Horse-A-Day.
Chris, Tina, and Jackie.
We would love for you to check out some more of our videos and interviews at horseadayblog.com.